Marvel Heroclix Earth-X previews coming right up. Mr. Clicksflix is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for all your gaming needs. You can visit them at luckydicecafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Alright guys, so today we have a ton of Marvel Heroclix Earth-X previews to cover. They've been going on for a couple days, but I like to let a few of them accumulate before I get into them. Give you guys a hot take on what I think of each individual figure. Also, if you see something you like, if there's a chase or a prime that we cover, you think you might like it, make sure to stop on over at patreon.com/MrClicksFlix, because during the months that a new set drops, like February, as in next month as of the filming of this video, when a set comes out, the first chase or prime figure that I pull during my unboxing is that month's shout out item for Patreon patrons. So go ahead, check that out. It's only $1 a month. It really does help out the channel a ton. Big thank you in advance for going over and doing that. So there's a bunch, seems like there's a bunch of super rares and chases. There's also a prime. So let's go ahead and we're just going to get into this. So the first one we have up is Gorgon. Now, if you guys watch the channel at all, you know that I'm a huge fan of Inhumans. So these are, even if they're terrible, I'm going to like them and play them. So it looks like he's got two different point values, 125 and 75. Number 59 in the set with a yellow background. So I'm going to say he's probably a super rare. Gorgon, Earth-X. So Earth-X, Inhumans, and Animal are his keywords. Improved movement, ignores hindering, and destroys blocking terrain. So that's pretty cool there. The ability to destroy blocking terrain, it's fantastic, especially on certain maps. He has two traits, a special on his movement and a special on his attack. First trait is called Terrigenesis twice, and it seems like all the Inhumans have this. That at least I've seen previewed. They've been starting up this week with the Scott Porter unboxings, and he's had a couple Inhumans on there already, and they all had this trait. So I'm going to say it's a pretty safe bet that all the Inhumans have this. So it says, when a friendly character targets Gorgon with Perplex, after resolution, roll a d6. If the result is less than Gorgon's click number, modify that chosen value by an additional +1. So that's really cool there. So if you targeted him on click number 2 and you rolled a 1 and you were trying to perplex up his attack by 1 to a 12, it would end up being a 13 because you'd increase by an additional 1. That's awesome. That's just cool there. Especially late game. That's really a good late game thing. His other trait is called Butting Heads. Modify defense value +2 when attacking a character using charge or hypersonic speed. So really cool there. Defense +2 is just great. His defensive values aren't terrible. So, if hypersonic figure's trying to get in there on him to start the game, they're trying to swing a 20 defense at 125 points or 19 at 75. So that's pretty good there. The special on his movement is called Bullheaded Charge. When Gorgon uses it, he may choose to not have his speed value. If you do, he can only move in a direct path. Full movement charge is fantastic. He's got an 11 movement at 125 and 10 movement at 75 points. That's just great, especially when you can break through walls. Tons of maps that you would just be able to brutalize people on with that. Then his other special on his attack is called Trampling Gore Quake. When Gorgon uses it and hits more than one character, choose a hit character and roll d6. Increase the damage dealt to that character by half the result. Man, that's so good. So he has that as his starting attack power on both point values. It's an 11 attack at 125, 10 attack at 75. So just to start him off at 125, he has an 11 movement with that special, 11 attack with a special, 18 defense with invincible and indomitability, 4 damage. Then at 75, he's got a 10 movement with a special, 10 attack with a special, 17 defense, invulnerability, and 3 damage. This guy is a close combat hoss. So the hypersonic harassers that, your opponent tends to like try to send in first aren't really going to be able to do too much to him. They're swinging on a 20, and even if they do hit, he's probably going to end up on click 3 anyway. So that's pretty good there. But just the ability to move either 11 or 10 full clicks, quake, and then if you hit more than one character, so you can as long as you quake in a straight line, there's some, I'm thinking of at least 3 maps where you could brutalize people with this guy. So, you take your 11 movement quake, charge quake, and then you hit more than one character, you roll a d6, and then you do another damage. So you could potentially do, 2 clicks to everybody, and then roll a 6 so that one guy takes 5 instead of 2, which is phenomenal. And so I like this guy. Probably not meta, but, don't rule that out in the future, because the ability to full movement charge on that 75-point dial is pretty good. Next up, we have the first one of the chases. This one's Venom Gwen, number 63 in the set. It seems like Venom's going to be the theme for this chase set again. I don't know how I feel about another chase set being Venom, although I do like these sculpts on the whole better than the other ones from What If. So I don't know. So she has improved movement, ignores hindering, and elevated terrain. Has the monster and another keyword that I can't quite read. So she has 2 traits, special on her defense and a special on her damage. Her first trait is called Alien Symbiote, Plasticity, Shape Change. Venom Gwenpool, it automatically breaks away. Now, it seems like all the chases have this. They just change the name to whatever their name is. So that's Plasticity and Shape Change are just phenomenal. So that's good there. Then she has Call in Help from the Venomverse. And again, it seems like all the Venom chases have this. Once per turn for all characters with this trait. Use Venom Gwenpool. When Venom Gwenpool hits an opposing character, after resolutions, you may roll a d6, 3 through 6, place another friendly character, whose name includes Venom adjacent to Venom Gwenpool. So they don't necessarily have to have, they don't have to be another chase. It could just be standard Venom from Superior Foes Spider-Man, or really anything else. But that's still pretty cool. That's like the Call from the Spider-Verse trait from all the Spider-Man from Superior Foes Spider-Man, speaking of that set. Her other special on her defense is Energy Shield Deflection, Super Senses. If Venom Gwenpool hasn't failed a shape change all this turn, adjacent friendly characters can use Energy Shield Deflection. So she hands out Energy Shield, which is just phenomenal as long as she hasn't failed her shape change roll. So you could kind of play some shenanigans where you park her in the back of like a formation, and then make it so they have to attack other people first, so that she can hand out Energy Shield to them. So that's cool. And then her special on her damage is Exploit Weakness. At the beginning of your turn, you may deal 1 penetrating damage to an adjacent opposing character, or 1 unavoidable damage to an adjacent friendly character. If you do, heal Venom Gwenpool 1 click. So that's pretty cool there. Just the ability to heal her up without really even having to attack. Which is awesome. It's not a free act. It's not any kind of action. It's just, you're like, oh, okay, well, here, take a damage, heal myself. So that's pretty good. She's only 100 points. Starts off with a 6 range single target, 10 movement with charge, 11 attack with blades, 18 defense with that special, 3 damage with prob. I think she's actually pretty good. Pretty survivable. She's got shape change, energy shield deflection, super senses to try to keep her healthy. So it's 20 defense from range with 2 different rollouts. Shape change and super sense is just devastating. Plasticity to make it so that hypersonicers tend to want to stay away from her, because if they do get adjacent, you can just start handing out, if you're not on click 1, you can hand out some free actions to just deal him damage to heal back up for free. So it's sort of like a on-demand poison that's slightly better than poison because you could be placed later on for some shenanigans. So you could be carried and then give her the free one to heal her. So that's pretty cool there. Overall, I like her. Not broken, but definitely playable. Next, we have Hulk, number 55 in the set, a super rare. Earth X and monster keywords, has a trait and a special on his damage. He has that trait, that special for his entire dial. So his trait is called the Hulk is an extension of me. At the beginning of the game, generate a Bruce bystander. As long as Bruce is on the map, when Hulk would be given an action token, you may instead give him a soul token and don't clear his action tokens that turn. When Bruce is KO'd after resolutions, remove all Hulk's soul tokens and deal him 2 unavoidable damage for each removed soul token, for each named token. So that's pretty cool there. So you can basically continue to assign him actions and just not take push clicks, which is pretty cool. But it comes at the cost of these soul tokens, where if the Bruce bystander gets KO'd, it's really going to hose you. The Bruce bystander is just 4 movement, 0 attack, 14 defense, 0 damage, but with perplex. So that perplex is actually pretty helpful. The special on his damage is called he's safe as long as I am out here. Battle Fury. If Hulk has one or more soul tokens, Hulk has protected outwit. If Hulk has 3 or more soul tokens, he has protected penetrating psychic blast and exploit weakness. So once you get up to 3 soul tokens, you're protected from outwit, penetrating psychic blast, and exploit weakness. First 2 clicks don't matter for that, the penetrating and the penetrating damage part, because he has invincible, but still pretty good there. Has giant symbol, starts off at 150 points, just the 1 point line. 11 movement with charge, 12 attack, super strength, 18 defense, invincible, 5 damage with that special. And like I said, that special he has the whole time. Has some steel energy, late dial, never drops below 10 attack, or a 17 defense. This really feels like a Hulk. This feels like Hulk. Range is still king, but I like this guy. Not having him improved movement destroys blocking kind of hurts him in my mind a little bit, but still pretty cool. I would definitely play him. That 12 attack with super strength is just brutal. Plus with the perplex, where you could either give him a 13 attack or 6 damage. Definitely something worth looking into. I wouldn't be upset to pull one of these. Next up, we have super rare Loki, number 58 in the set. He has Asgardian, Earth X, Deity, and Mystical as his keywords. He has 2 different traits. The first trait is called Bending the Rules and Reshaping Reality. Free. Roll a d6. The resulting effects last until your next turn. 1. Opposing characters modify defense +1. 2. All characters can use phasing teleport. 3. Each player chooses its character, and the chosen character modify all combat values +1. 4. Generate 4 blocking terrain markers, each within range and line of fire. At the beginning of your next turn, remove them. 5. Friendly characters modify attack +1. 6. Friendly characters modify all combat values +1. So that's really cool there. 1, 2, and 3 kind of help your opponent. Well, 1 definitely does. 2 possibly could. And 3 definitely does. And then after that, 4 through 6 are for sure just for you. And then he has another another trait called In the Minds of Mortals, Shape Change, Stealth. Once per turn, when a character of less points within range and line of fire makes an attack, you may reroll 1 die of that attack roll. So really good there. It gives you a pseudo prob on top of the regular prob that he has at 150. So really just it's more brutal than it seems initially for them to try to hit. So he has an 8 range dual target, and at 150 he starts off with a 10 movement with phasing teleport, 11 attack, psychic blast, 18 defense, invincible, 4 damage with probability control. Then he has another point line at 125 where he has a 9 movement with sidestep, 11 attack with incapacitate, 18 defense, invulnerability, 3 damage with outwit. He has the Mystic's team ability, and I really like this sculpt. I can't convey fully how much I like this sculpt. I hope it looks as good as this in person, but I'm pretty excited about it. And this is just a cool Loki. It feels like Loki, and it's just cool looking. So excited. All right, next up we have number 66 in the set, Venom Rocket Raccoon. I think this one's going to be popular just because of the character. So I think this one's going to be a little pricey. But he has improved movement, ignores elevated and hindering, and improved targeting, destroys blocking. So pretty good there. But destroys blocking doesn't get handed out very much, so that's cool. He has 3 traits. First one is Alien Symbiote, which is the plasticity and shape change, and automatically breaking away. Then he has that call in from the Venomverse trait that Venom Gwenpool had. And then he has another trait called I Got Better Stuff in My Arsenal. When Venom Rocket Raccoon destroys 1 or more pieces of blocking terrain, after resolutions give him a rummage token, maximum 3, free. Remove any number of rummage tokens and choose attack, damage, or range. This turn, he modify the chosen combat value +1 for each token removed. So you can modify 1 combat value by possibly +3. And he's 100 points, starts off with a 6 range dual target, 9 movement with hypersonic speed, 11 attack with precision strike, 18 defense, super senses, 3 damage with outwit. So you could potentially get him up to a 14 attack or a 6 damage all on his own. This guy's just... He's really good. I don't know that he's meta good, but he's almost, depending on the team, he's almost too good to play for casual, but not good enough for competitive. He does have the Monsters keyword and Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, so Monster theme team might be getting another heavy hitter to help them out. I like this guy a lot. Next up, we have Spider-Woman, number 53B from the set. This is the first prime we're taking a look at. She's 80 points, has the Spider-Man family, armor, mystical keyword, and I can't tell what that first one is. So we're just going to pretend like it doesn't exist. She has 1 trait, and the trait is gaining the powers of writers Drew Carpenter and of Witter, Drew Carpenter, and Madam Web. Free. Choose a standard power printed on this card that Spider-Woman can't currently use. She can use that power until your next turn. And she has basically every power you would want. She has all the pertinent movement powers except for hypersonic speed. She has all the really good damage powers, all the really good attack powers. And with the exception of the reducer, she has some pretty good defensive powers also. So really good there. Like on that first click, you could, you know, sidestep, then give a free action to choose running shot, which would be good there. So just, it leaves up for a lot of shenanigans. The last few primes I haven't felt were like super overpowered. Like the first few primes were like, you know, Brother Voodoo and that kind of thing. It seems like they really toned that back. She seems good for 80 points, but she doesn't seem like she's worth a ton more than 80 points, but she's definitely good, and I like her. I know a ton of people that would be happy to have her. Next up, we have Venom Spider-Man. I think this is just a cool sculpt. We've been getting a lot of Spider-Man lately, but he's one of my favorite superheroes, as basic as that sounds. So I'm excited to have him. He's only 75 points. which is exciting to me that he's, under 100 points is stuff that I'm pretty likely to play. So he has improved movement, ignores elevated and hindering, has the alien symbiote trait, and the call in help from the Venomverse trait. So has plasticity and shape change. It automatically breaks away, which is awesome. Then he has a special on his damage and a special on his attack. Special on his damage is called Indiscriminate Appetite, Battle Fury, Power, choose an adjacent character, friendly or opposing. If the target is friendly, deal them one unavoidable damage and heal Venom Spider-Man one click. If the target is opposing, make a close attack targeting them. If it hits, after resolution, deal them 2 penetrating damage and heal Venom Spider-Man one click. So not quite the same as Venom Gwenpool's, but still pretty good. The ability to heal, especially on those, because he has the back half of his dial, is just really good, and his attack values are pretty consistent. We'll get to him in a minute. The special on his attack is called Rip and Tear, Blades, Claws, Fangs. Then he does have one special. Then he does have one last special on his attack called Rip and Tear, Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Venom Spider-Man uses it and the D6 roll was a 5 or 6, after resolutions, move up to his speed value and make a close attack targeting another opposing character. You can't use Blades, Claws, Fangs during the second attack. So that's phenomenal. So you're able to charge out your 5. Then you make your attack roll. With a 12, so you're probably likely to hit roll, and if you get a good Blades, Claws, Fangs roll, then you can move another 10 squares and make another attack. So you've got an effective 15 square swing possibly with this guy, which is just absurd. So for 75 points, he starts off with a 10 movement with charge, 12 attack with that special, 18 defense, super senses, and indomitability, 3 damage. This guy's good. I really hope I get one. His trait isn't 100% count onable, so I doubt he'll be meta, but he's definitely really good. And if you get streaky with your Blades, Claws, Fangs rolls, this guy's gonna be good. Next up, we have number 57 in the set. I almost said 51, but that's his name. We have X51. He has the Earth X Cosmic Herald and Robot keyword. Herald keyword is very interesting. I think I see what you're up to, whiz kids. So he's 75 points, has a trait, a special on his defense, and a special on his damage. His trait is called To Stop the Celestial Embryo. When an opposing character with Colossal or Power Cosmic makes an attack, you may roll a d6, 2 through 5, modify the attack -1, 6, modify the attack -2. Could be good against Unimind. Or, or Starro. Would be good against Starro too. Just trying to think. Then he has a special on his defense called I Will Not Erase My Emotional Programming. Stop, toughness. Only having toughness on his stop click kind of sucks, but it is stop click, so that's good. Then he has a special on his damage called Secrets of the Elder Race, Power Cosmic Team Ability, Range Value 8, Perplex, Outwit, Probability Control. So basically the 3 best support powers in the game. For 75 points, starts off with a 12 movement with phasing, 11 attack, 18 defense with invulnerability, 2 damage with support. And then on his stop click, he has a 6 movement with stealth, 12 attack with psychic blast, 18 defense with that stop click, 3 damage with that special. I could see some people trying to abuse him because he stops. He doesn't stop, but he helps a few things against Unimind and Starro. But I think ultimately it won't do anything. But it's an interesting thought. And for 75 points, he's a cool figure that they're going to try to not deal with too much. And I think you throw the exo specs on this guy, and he lands on that stop click, it's going to be tough to deal with for 75 points. Alright guys, so that is all the previews today from Earth X. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite figure was. So many to choose from. I really like reading that stuff from you guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps keep me motivated to make these videos. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.